feels good to be winners of 2 games in a row.
Oh my God! Wow!
Yo, what's up, world? Welcome back to the channel. APW Sports signing in. And today, I can come to you guys as a happy man as the Bears win their second straight game with a 33-27 victory on the road against the Minnesota Vikings. But before I get into my reaction to this contest, be sure that you guys are staying absolutely safe out there. I know it's still a ton going on, and I just want to make sure you guys are staying safe. And also, about 60 to 70% of the people that watch my videos are not subscribed to the channel. So if you fit into that category, go ahead right now, click that subscribe button, and click that notification bell so you will not miss a single video that I post. But enough with all that. Without further ado, let's dive into it. The first thing I want to get into within this contest is how well that the Bears ran the football in this game. I love the move to go to Sam Mustipher and Alex Bars on the offensive line. They have moved in and played extremely well. I'm glad Coward is out. That's just the number one thing. I'm glad Coward is out. He really wasn't making so much of an impact on this offense. And I'm just glad that Alex Bars and Sam Mustipher, Cody Whitehair, they have been playing some really solid football up the middle for this Bears offensive line. And David Montgomery, I've been preaching for it all season that the Bears need to commit to the running game more, no matter who the quarterback was, whether it was Mitch or whether it was Foles. Because you can see the difference in Montgomery when he gets 10 to 13 touches a game versus 20 plus, which he got in this game alone. That makes a huge difference in the running back in his rhythm. That makes a huge difference in the way the teams are able to defend you. That makes a huge difference in the way that the offensive line is able to block and protect, because they are not so predicated on the passing game as they were earlier in this season, having games where you have 45, 50 pass attempts and only 12 rushing attempts. I've been the stickler to say that that was not going to win you games consistently all season long. And I hate to say it, but I've been proven right on that point, especially the way this Bears offense is. You can set up so much of the Bears offense when you have a running game that is playing the way that this running game for the Bears has played over the past couple of weeks. Montgomery, I've been a huge stickler for getting him the football more. You get him more touches. He's one of those running backs that gets stronger and stronger as the game goes along. As he gets more touches, he breaks the defense down. He wears them down with a strong, hard, physical running, and the way he's able to break tackles and be patient and see things and see the whole. He's one of those backs. You get him more touches, he is more effective, and that proved evident in this ball game today. It wasn't a lot of Cordell Patterson in the backfield, which I think kind of is a little bit of a different look for this Bears offense. You didn't see Cordell Patterson in the backfield too much. Mitch played a solid game outside of that interception, which, number one, I think they should have ran some play action. They should have ran some bootleg. And number two, he should have not thrown that football. That was a bad read. He should have not made that play. Either way, I think he should have took off and ran, because when you look back at the replay and you look back at the way the whole play was set up, nothing was there. So it would have been better off, at least in my opinion, if you kept him running or if you rolled him out, something different, because the first 2 plays were run plays. So I think a design rollout or something would have been a lot better there versus just sitting him in the pocket, especially on that particular play. The Bears are using Mitch Trubisky the way that I've been waiting for the Bears to use him all season. Get the ball out of his hands quickly behind the offensive line that struggles to pass protect, roll him out, use some RPOs, and have an effective running game. Those are going to be keys to this Bears offense succeeding. I believe that all season long. Even to switch to Foles, you had to throw the ball heavily because that's the type of quarterback that he is. And I'm finally glad that Matt Nagy has finally, along with Bill Lazor, they have finally used Mitch Trubisky's strength. They're coaching towards his strengths versus making him sit back there and be somebody like a Drew Brees or Tom Brady, which he's not. But you don't need him to be that in order for this Bears offense to be effective. And that proved key today. Even some plays where he sat back in the pocket, he was able to make some really key throws, especially third down throw to Anthony Miller and on that third down throw to Allen Robinson early in the game. Those were throws that were set up because the running game was so effective that changed the way that this Minnesota Vikings defense was able to play the passing game for the Bears. When you have a running game like that, when you have a running game with Montgomery that's dominant in that shape and fashion, that changed the whole schematic of the way that the Minnesota Vikings defense was able to defend. Because if you remember in that first game against the Vikings brought a ton of those all-out third down blitzes because the running game was not successful. The running game was an ill effect. The running game was not there at all. And it also hurt that Montgomery did not play the first game against the Minnesota Vikings. That might have been something to do with that as well. But also the Bears did not commit to running the football at any point during that first Vikings game. And it's a drastic tale from that game into this game where they ran the football 25 to 30 times. Big difference in the way this Bears offense is able to perform. I like the things that Darnell Mooney is able to do. I like Allen Robinson, of course. He's still an elite receiver in my opinion. Trubisky, to me, played a really good game, but a lot of the fans on social media are going to criticize him for that one play, that one pick. I see it throughout all of social media. The Bears are playing a 22nd ranked defense. The Bears better be executed against the Vikings who haven't been good. The Bears should be doing this anyway. You still have to come out. You still have to execute your game plan. You still have to come out. You still have to maintain that game plan. You still have to come out and you have to play good football. I am not one that likes that narrative. Just because somebody is bad against you, that does not mean you still have to come out and play good football. You still have to come out and play. No matter who you're facing, you still have to come out and execute. No matter who you're facing. So for those fans that this is the 22nd ranked defense, the Vikings aren't been very good. The Vikings have been struggling defensively. You still have to come out. You still have to execute. You still have to. I like the way Trubisky played. He played very well. David Montgomery is finally being utilized for what he is a very good running back, a downhill runner, a powerful runner, and a runner that is patient and finds the holes. So overall, this Bears offense was absolutely good today. Honestly, when have we been able to say that at any point of the season? Not really. And Cairo Santos, let me touch on Cairo Santos. Is he the replacement that the Bears have been looking for at the kicker position ever since we let Robbie Gould go? Is he the guy? He's made 22, 23 consecutive field goals at this point. He's been automatic. We haven't been able to say that about a Bears kicker since Robbie. He's the guy? From the way it's looking, I really think so. He is goated. That is a good pickup for the Bears. Just saying. Just saying. But I'm going to flip things over to the Bears defensively. And one thing that I've noticed in this game, I really feel would have made a huge difference is if the Bears would actually blitz. The Bears, I don't know what Chuck Pagano, I don't get it. I don't get why he doesn't blitz, especially against a team like the Minnesota Vikings. Why do you not blitz? Come on, the guy. Come on, man. I feel the blitz every now and then would have made a huge difference in this game. Not only run blitzes to stop Dalvin Cook, and also you have pass blitzes to really get after Kirk Cousins because he's one of those quarterbacks, if he gets hit a lot, the dynamic changes with Kirk Cousins. And yeah, Robert Quinn finally did something today with the strip fumble. They almost got it, but he finally did something. They finally did something where you can call his name versus just looking at the outlook of the defense. He did something, especially with the back end of your defense not being healthy with Jalen Johnson being out. Buster Screen. Deuce Shelley had a little nick during the course of this football game. So I feel that the blitz could have really helped this Bears defense a lot if they would have brought a little bit more pressure, if they would have blitzed a little more in the running game. Because think think about it. Dalvin Cook is an elite running back. Let's just face it. Dalvin Cook is an elite running back with the things that he can do out of the backfield, not only running the football and the way he breaks tackles and the way he makes people miss, but he's also really, really good in the passing game. So I think bringing the blitz would have really, really helped out today, especially with Kirk Cousins, a quarterback that the dynamic changes if you get a lot of pressure on him, if you get a lot of hits. No matter if you have Quinn and Mack, yeah, those are two good pass rushers. Well, Quinn hasn't done that all season, but the dynamic of the blitz changes that. And also, Bilal Nichols, I have to touch on Bilal Nichols. He has been downright balling. He has been balling these past couple of games, and I like the way Brent Urban has played as well. Akiem Hicks, I don't think he made as big as an impact was I expecting, especially as he did in the first game against Minnesota. Brent Urban played well. Bilal Nichols has been having a dynamic last two games at that defensive tackle spot. Roquan is being Roquan. I knew it was going to be a tough task with these Bears corners, especially with Johnson and Screen being out, to defend guys like a Justin Jefferson and a guy like Adam Thielen. One of the better wide receiver cores that you have in the NFL. I still would like to see more blitz out of this Bears defense. Bilal, I just want to give Bilal Nichols his praise. I want to give him the recognition that he's due because he's been playing some really good football. And Trevathan did play a little bit better today. He played a little bit better than what he's been playing in some of these games this year. Overall, this Bears defense can use some shoring up. I think it can use a little bit more blitz. We did get the pick, which absolutely, that was heart-wrenching. The last drive of the game, that was absolutely heart-wrenching as far as the Hail Mary and as far as ball being batted, because Eddie was trying to bat it down, and thank God that Sheriff McManus is right there to pick it off and end the game and get us all our worries, because that was worrisome. I hate when Bears games get like that. I hate it. Because your emotions are all over the place, especially in those late game, close contests. Your emotions are all over the place. And I was just so happy that the Bears were able to pull this victory out. And we keep our playoff chances alive with a much needed victory over a Minnesota Vikings team who came into this game playing some really solid offense. Their defense has not been the same defense, but the Bears were still able to move the football, and the Bears were still able to come into this game and take care of business offensively. Defensively, the takeaway from this game is the Bears have to find a way to create more pressure than just bringing the front four. They have to blitz a little bit more, at least in my opinion. That gives the teams a different element to defend. I think bringing the blitz a little bit more will really help this Bears defense a lot. When you're sitting back in so much zone, I mean, especially with no blitzes in that zone blitz, good quarterbacks. And Kirk Cousins is not a bad quarterback. I just don't trust him a lot in big games. Kirk Cousins is not a horrible quarterback. He's a quarterback that can make some things happen. And if you're sitting in zone blitz all game and you really don't blame, not zone blitz, but if you're sitting in zone for majority of the game and you really don't blitz a lot, that changes the dynamic of it. I was just hoping the Bears blitz a little more. I'm glad they committed to the run offensively. Trubisky, he's been playing his best football these past couple of weeks, and I really did that the benching of Trubisky really changed his mindset. But the Bears come out of this game with a much needed 33-27 victory on the road against the Vikings, a divisional rival. I couldn't be any more happier as a Bears fan. And another thing I gotta say before I wrap up this video. For the Bears fans that are rooting for the Bears to lose for high draft picks, I will never understand it. I will never understand it. I can get that losing gets you a high draft pick, but as a diehard fan, there is no way that I can root for this team to continue to lose games. If you're watching sports and you're rooting for your team to lose, I don't get that as a fandom. I never will get that. I will never understand rooting for your team to lose. A team can be bad, a team can be in the bottom, but if you're sitting there rooting for your team to lose for draft picks, I never will understand that. As a diehard Bear fan, I could never, ever root for the Bears to lose ever in my life. I don't care what determining future factors can happen. I would never, ever, 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 ever root for the Bears to lose football game. That is all I've got. Be sure to leave this video a like. Comment you guys' thoughts down below. I really read my comment section, and I would love to see what you guys think about this Bears victory over the Minnesota Vikings. And also, click that subscribe button, as that will help this channel to grow. And leave a like on this video so we can reach more audiences, so we can beat the YouTube algorithm. But I am APW Sports signing out. Make sure you guys stay safe out there. Have a great and excellent day, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.